Native people, Native culture, Native knowledge. Hi, I'm Jeannie Green, bringing you award-winning Heartbeat Alaska.
Bringing you national and international Native news, this is award-winning Heartbeat Alaska, the premier Native voice in Native programming.
There's a heartbeat, louder than thunder, revolution is in the air. There's a heartbeat deep inside our mother. Are you too cool to
Now, with Heartbeat Alaska, here's Jeannie Green.
Hello, welcome to Heartbeat Alaska Native News and Native Information. I'm Jeannie Green. Thank you so much for joining me as we travel through Native America once again. This time, our journey takes us to Homer, Alaska for the Gathering of Traditions. I'll be back with Homer, Alaska and the Gathering of Traditions right after this.
By the Division of Alcoholism and Drug Abuse and the Alaska Council on Prevention of Alcohol and Drug Abuse. Together, preventing substance abuse statewide. And by Ute Air Alaska, official airlines of Heartbeat Alaska. Ute Air Alaska, taking you home.
For hundreds of years, ancestors from the villagers of Port Graham, Nunwalek, and Soldovia, Alaska, paddled their baidarkas onto Bishop's Beach, and once again, we join them for Gathering of Traditions 1998. It's probably one of the most unique and beautiful events in all of Native America. The Gathering of Traditions brought together people from around the state of Alaska. It was a showcase of Native culture, in particular, Aleut, Konyag, and Chugach cultures.
It's a gathering from 3 villages. We wanted to bring it over to Homer and started off with baidarkas, arrival on baidarkas. Traditionally, that's what we've done. Traveled for food and supplies. And my part was doing the baidarkas.
Nick Tanape partnered with other villagers from Port Graham, Nunwalek, and Soldovia to recreate a traditional gathering of their people, a celebration of their ancestral ways.
You get driftwood from the beach, because we don't have trees in the oceans, and purple bottom especially. And what we do is we carve out the roots from the kayak to make parts, frame parts, and we use sea lion skin to cover the boat, and we use ivory joints to make it really flexible in real rough weather, so it'd be really hard to tip them over, and they're extremely light. For kayaks, I used throwing sticks because they're swift. If there's a bow and arrow, they have to focus everything and take too long. So they had these throwing boards, and when they're kayaking, and then when they sneak up on their prey, they use their spear and the throwing board and goes real swift, and they get their prey like that. It has a dragger that drags them, so if they try to escape, because they're in a kayak, right? And they try to escape, and the next thing you know, they're stalling because they have on the end of the spear, it has a piece of wood that goes in water that drags them and makes them really tired fast. And then you get to the point where they're tired, and then that's when you go up to them and you get them, and then you I get to meet. I was thinking back how my ancestors felt 200 years ago, and they used to kayak a lot. And it was just a good feeling to have again. I mean, just to be part of a culture that almost died, being an Aleut is just tremendous. It makes me feel joy.
Yeah, our group is a school group. We've been together about 4 years now, and our dances went to sleep in World War II. People were dancing up until World War II, and then it seems like our stuff went to sleep. I think the internment in the internment camps in Southeast, a lot of our villages suffered greatly, and I think Atka suffered probably one of the most. It lost a third of its population down there. And so for us, the revival of our dance and motions and the creation of new dances in the traditions of our ancestors is really special to us, and we think that it's, I guess, Unangak people or Aleut people from the Aleutian Islands we're the last group in Alaska to really revive our music and dance. And I think, a lot of that we were behind the others because of the World War II experience. But I think we're back in we feel we're back in full power. So to us, it's very important. It's like living our ancestors' dream, and it's who we are. We can't pretend to be somebody else any longer. We can have both worlds, and we definitely need to be unangach. I feel like my family is there with me that's gone, and a lot of times we dedicate our shows to our relatives who passed away in World War II, because the memory is so fresh with us. I mean, it's just our parents' generation that that went through it. So when we're up there doing it, we're dancing not only for the community of Atka, we're dancing for every community, and the Aleutians, the Pribilofs, all Unangach people, and that makes us feel very proud.
Welcome to a very special place, the Chugach Heritage Center in Seward, a place where the rich culture of the Chugach people is presented in a unique environment, where legends of the past are brought to life in colorful performances.
I needed the younger people, our future, to make that connection with our past, which are the elders, and save who we are.
Very, very impressive show.
I just loved the show. It was really wonderful.
It's absolutely a must for you to see.
I'm proud that we have a place now where we can show our heritage and teach other people besides just our own culture.
For a truly remarkable experience, visit the Chugach Heritage Center in Seward, where exciting performances and unique exhibits take you beyond the legends.
Well, I have a brother-in-law. He does this for a living, and his name is Jacob Simiano. That's who I learned from. Basically took off from there. I didn't go to school for it or anything like that. What I mainly concentrate on is story masks. I don't do shaman or, I don't like them shaman.
The gathering of traditions also meant the gathering of artists. Renowned artists from all over the state attended this gathering. They sold their wares and demonstrated their skill.
I do beadwork, just different things, earrings, necklaces. I made a headdress a while ago. My uncle helped me out with that, Jacob Smirnoff. And that was my first piece that I made.
Drawings in there.
In our culture, it was the chief's daughters and the wife and the daughters that wore these beaded headdresses. Yeah, our slaves weren't even allowed to touch them.
It's tie-on hat. That's why it's flat like this. Just the guy running the village, you know. All this stuff means something. Like this little guy up here. It's a good luck. It's supposed to be for a hat. And this is just a decoration. Mm-hmm. And these round things like this, that means something too. That means like you take that when the tide's coming in, when you take a rock and pick it up, and you throw it in the water, make the circle. That's what it means. You call it Aleut sign. This here. And I put a little sea otter here because do you went sea otter hunting, the Aleut, and it's holding a little clam. Mastodon is about 10,000 years old, a little thing. Mastodon tusk, you know. So this the guy around the village. This guy wearing this hat. That's the guy they look for in the village when they want information, you know, people. Supposed to be sea lion whiskers, out the sea lion, but I use 150-pound fishing line, and I taper it down and stain it, make it look like sea lion. And you probably heard of Alvin Emerson. He gave me all those little feathers to put on my hat. He told me not to buy some fake stuff. He said, you'll use real stuff, you know, on the back here. I wear it for paddling here in Homer, you know, kayaking and stuff. And I also made a necklace to go with it. You want to see it? The same colors and stuff. When I first started teaching, I was putting my kids to school in Naknek, and teachers at Naknek hired me to go to the schools and teach carvings and stuff. So I took my own airplane, and they paid for the gas, and I flew to villages with my plane. And they didn't pay me for flying because I just got my private. Anyway, then when I got there, they started paying me in a village, and that's how I started. I've been teaching about 20 years now. Although it's kind of interesting, you know,
yeah.
Lots of fun and stuff, yeah. This is bear head out of ivory. And these are Chinese trade beads. And these are Russian trade beads. When I was teaching in St. Paul Island this spring, they gave me a going away present, seal teeth. This, Larry, what you call those seals? First seal, huh? Yeah. First seal. Yeah, they give so I made a necklace out of this. And this is bone.
The town of Homer, Alaska played the perfect host to a beautiful event. Port Graham, Nunwalek, and Soldovia, Alaska outdid themselves in planning this event, as well as the Pratt Museum. Historical accuracy was of prime importance and, for the most part, stayed true to oral tradition design and flavor, including the potluck.
Over there on the grass.
On the hill?
Yeah, over there.
The Gathering of Traditions 1998 proved to be a showcase of talent, cooperation, and dignity. The communities of Port Graham, Nunwallock, Seldovia, St. Paul, Atka, Kodiak, Homer, and others have proven that the Aleut culture is not dead. Indeed, it's alive and exciting and filled with hope. Thank you so very much, everyone. We'll see you again next year, that's for sure. Gathering of Traditions has become an annual event and will continue again next year. Thank you, Pratt Museum, for your help in that story. Let's take a moment now for some Native American music.
I would like to introduce to you Priscilla Coolidge, Laura Satterfield, and Rita Coolidge.
When they are
If you have a story from your village, give us a call, 907-563-7440. Heartbeat Alaska's Native News for you. I'm Jeannie Green. God bless you. And we'll see you again, maybe in your village next week.
Nothing else and hands empty, but the love he had for me held my Lord to the old rugged cross. He was dying in my place, that by grace I might be free. Only Jesus could bear all the loss. On the cross, my Savior died. Open up a fountain wide that would cleanse me from all of my sins. He with depths of love unknown left the Father's glory throne. I to tell it could never begin. Nothing else has empty, but the love he had for me held my Lord to the old rugged cross. He was dying in my place, that by grace I might be free. Only Jesus could bear all the loss. I was sinking in despair, but he came my sin to bear. No one else could have died in my place.